All right, everybody, welcome back to Mark Ellis Realtor Unplugged, the show where we talk about all things real estate. Today, I've got a very special guest with me. One of my top producing agents, Marcus Cronce, is here today. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Glad to be back. What's going on?
Not much, man. You're looking pretty dapper today.
Thank you.
I like that little camel jacket.
Yeah.
Guys got some loafers going.
Just handling business.
Just handling business. I love it. Hey, we haven't done one of these in a while. I wanted to have you back. We always vibe well.
Yep.
And I just wanted to really just check up on you, man, see how things have been going. I know you've been killing it with real estate and all of that. Is there anything new you want to talk about?
Let's see. Just working a lot. And what else? I think I said it last time. I've been working a lot and laying pretty low. Need to get back to working out. Otherwise, just a lot of business. Seems like it's going to end up being a pretty good year.
Good.
I'll probably be where I was at last year, if not above that. So, just trying to grind it out, and a couple months left. So.
Oh yeah. Got to hit that finish line
Yeah,
hard.
yes,
baby.
sir.
I was actually looking at your numbers. We talked about it last week. You're trending. Actually, you're over where you were the same time last year by quite a bit, and you're trending to actually break your record from last year, which was your best year ever.
Yeah.
So
that was the goal. So
how does a guy stay consistently breaking his own record? I mean, can you kind of shed some insight on?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because I reevaluate it every year, and I think I'm pretty sure I'm in my 7th year. Every single year I've finished with more volume. I'm pretty sure, but I would say for me, it's just. I think I mentioned it on the last podcast when I look at that business plan that I do every year. After a certain couple of years, it's like, all right, this is working, right? I'm selling a good amount of houses, so you kind of just go back to what's working and what's not on there, and you sometimes pivot on the fly, or at the beginning of the year, maybe you make an adjustment. This isn't working, so I'm going to add this kind of thing, and then. I think the other important thing is too, you take care of everybody that you work with, and again, I try not to be necessarily a salesman, and it just kind of unfolds. You have people that appreciate what you've done for them, and they end up selling or needing to buy something else. So it's just kind of like it just starts flowing after a period of time, and as long as you're staying on it, and
Absolutely.
Obviously I work my ass off, but just consistency. So
100%.
Yeah.
And I think it becomes a snowball. Once you start taking care of people, they'll start referring you out.
Snowball, exactly.
You know what I mean? It'll be a snowball. So obviously you've been highly successful since you started, which I love. I love seeing that, and I love that for you. What advice maybe would you give a new agent starting out? Like if someone could have told you this advice early in your career, what would it have been? Something that would have helped you even become more successful faster?
What's funny is I think the number one thing that comes to mind, I just wrote this on my business plan the other day. So now on my 7th year, I put just be social in all caps. And I think I would say the last 6 months, like I said, I've been kind of laying low. Obviously I'm doing a lot of business and stuff, but I put that on there because I need to start being more social, maybe branching out, do some things I normally wouldn't want to, or if I feel like staying home, go do social things and just get involved with as much stuff as you can. I probably could have done more of that when I first started. So just, being extremely social, get involved with as much as you can and as many people as you can. And then, again, I think when you're just starting out too, don't approach it like you're selling anything or the focus on making money. Obviously, it's a job, and we've got to make money, but just provide legitimate quality things for people and service, and I think that will take care of yourself, if that makes sense in the future. Just provide for people and just
100%.
Keep give. So
we talk about it. No, we talk about it all the time in our meeting, and we have to provide value better than any other agent. Yeah. And if you provide value to your clients, right, and they understand and see that value, then of course they're going to refer you to other people, and you're going to stay busy. So I think that the value proposition there is huge.
Yeah.
especially for us as agents, because there's so many agents in this business. What sets you apart, that value is the main thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've noticed too, if people know that you're there for their best interest too, because we've seen things go wrong in real estate transactions or with clients, or something pops up that's not ideal. Mm-hmm. If people know that you're there for them in the appropriate way, they've still got your back too, even if things go south or go wrong, because they know you're trying very hard, to help them or make something work. So it almost gives you a relief when you treat people right. They have your back even in the bad times, I feel like, in our industry.
100%, man. So obviously you've been highly successful. We know that, but there have to have been some mistakes, some lessons that you learned along the way. I know it hasn't been all peaches and cream the whole way. It's been a grind. I've seen you grind. I know what you've been through. But what would you say are maybe some of your biggest mistakes or lessons you learned?
I think for me, probably the main one would be, I wish I wouldn't have waited so long to start. Not only like just getting in the business, but like I think for me, I started it, but it wasn't really for like a year and a half until I was like full blown selling real estate. I wish I would have just like kind of dropped everything and just went full at it. I guess if that makes sense. I think the longer you can, if you decide, all right, I'm doing this 100%, and you are legitimately going after it. Just threw me off a little bit. If you're like, when you get into it 100%, if you are, say you've got that business plan, you've got good people backing you, and you're getting after it, I feel like it's more likely, 6 months later, you're going to gain a bunch of traction than if you're kind of, doing it part-time on the side,
Sure.
You just got to be going after it fully. So
consistency.
Yeah.
I think consistency goes a long way in this business for sure. And then being disciplined to do the things that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
I think that is a huge part of being successful in this business. Speaking of which, what would you think, or what would you say are some of the daily routines or like productivity hacks that you do on a daily basis? I know for myself, I do a lot of time blocking. Where I kind of block my day out, and I'm going to do this from 8 to 9 and this from 10 to 2 or whatever. What do you do on a daily basis, or what are your routines?
Yeah, so I keep going back to that business plan. On that, I have like daily tasks, monthly tasks, then I put goals on there. But I actually have a time blocking chart too, where it'll say like, do this in the morning, do this second in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I definitely follow that quite a bit. I try and have as much structure as I can, but I also think our job is very unstructured. So in my time blocking, I'll leave like, say a 2-hour, 3-hour window where if somebody needs this to happen early in the morning, I'll pivot that, and then I'll try and move the stuff I was going to do in the morning to the afternoon. So time management, I think, is big. I try and stay really disciplined on that. And I think it's an interesting thing too. I don't know, when I started, there would be nights where I finished everything that I could possibly do, and I would stay up till midnight on my laptop seeking things out, like what else can I do here, because I was so nervous of maybe failing. So I'm glad I did that. But now, I mean, here and there I'll still do that, but time management, where I'm giving myself, all right, I need to have 3 hours at night where I'm not doing it and I'm recovering and I have some mental clarity. So I've changed that up, and I think that's actually way healthier. But it was part of the grind initially that got me to this place.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. That's probably one that stands out. So time management, time blocking.
Being very intentional with your time.
Yeah.
And then that fear, you touched on that fear of failing. That's pretty much what's propelled me in my career, is the fear of failing. It's like, you know what? I'm never going to fail. As long as I continue to get up every day and put forth an effort, failure's not an option.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I would say I have confidence now that things are going to work out well because I've proven it. But I always keep that in my back pocket or the back of my mind. If I stop doing this, things could crumble at any time. Oh, yeah. I'm never willing. I will never let that happen. So it's like having that in the back of your mind.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So obviously you're very goal oriented. I know that, if you do X amount of business this year, you want to do 10 times that next year. But outside of your job, like what are some of your personal goals, or what are some of your other goals that you're shooting for?
It's a good question. I mentioned one earlier, fitness. I just got to get back to it. That one's just, I feel like I've always been pretty active. Last 6 months I've been like just on a track. I don't want to be working out or anything, but I'll get back to lifting, boxing, MMA, that kind of stuff. Goals outside. Obviously I'm going to be getting married, probably have a family in a couple years, so that'll be coming up. What else? Well,
we're gonna slow down a minute. We can't just go past that. Hold on now. We got to slow down. You're talking about having a family, getting married. I know you recently got engaged. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Of course, Haley's awesome. I love her.
Yeah.
But this family, I mean, how many are you thinking?
I don't know. We'll see.
Huh?
Start with one.
Start with one and go from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think that'll happen pretty quick after getting married?
We'll see. Give it a couple years.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're gonna get married in July of 25.
Okay.
So.
I feel like you're ready for it if it happens now, but if it doesn't, you're ready for that too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still want to have, like I said, time for myself. Yeah. Let's say time as a couple. You know, where you can still, get your working out in. Travel's obviously been huge for me for 10 years. Definitely still want to be doing multiple trips a year. So
sure,
those are probably the main two for now. Just getting active fully and traveling.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah. Well, you got a good girl there, so that's helpful.
You. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She's awesome and she's supportive of you, which is
huge.
What you want, especially in this business. You know what I mean. We work crazy hours, and finding somebody that's supportive of that is tough.
100%.
So that's awesome.
Yep.
If you weren't doing real estate, let's play a pretend game here. If you weren't doing real estate, what do you think you'd be doing, or what career would you do if you weren't doing this one?
Well, I would say the first one that comes to mind, because I love sports so much, would be if I could be a sports agent. Where I'm negotiating contracts for professional athletes.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
I think that'd be a fun one. That's the first one that comes to mind, and then probably as a second one, maybe not so much realistic for money purposes, would be involving probably dogs or animals. Like I've had a goal for a while of it'd be cool to open up like a dog or a pet shelter of some sort. Yeah. I haven't really figured out how that whole thing would work, but I like that idea just because I love animals so much. If money wasn't an issue, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if Dan Campbell's listening, this is your next agent.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Ready to just take those lines to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the preferred Detroit Lions agent. Yeah.
I love it. Preferred realtor and Detroit Lions agent, Marcus Cronce. Yeah. Dan Campbell, reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. No,
what would you do if you didn't?
I talked about in the last podcast that I would probably be an attorney. That's what I wanted to be growing up forever.
Cool.
I didn't like the schooling involved in being an attorney, so that job wouldn't work for me. And I discovered that probably in high school. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
that won't work.
It won't work for me. It's just not in my in my world of possibilities. But I like what I'm doing, man. I mean, I love what I'm doing, and I think we talked about this many times. The moment that I don't love what I'm doing, I will not be doing it any longer. I'm very strict on that. I'm intentional with my time, and if I'm not spending my time having fun and doing something that I love doing, then I need to pivot.
Yeah, and people need to live by that. That's
100%.
That's great,
dude. And we pivot in this business all the time.
For sure.
We get a bad inspection, a bad appraisal, whatever. We have to learn to pivot. But being intentional in your personal life and being able to pivot is I think it's a quality that a lot of people don't have or don't know how to do, and or they're scared of doing it. They like the same routine or whatever. But no, I've always been that way, man. If I don't like something, I'm out.
Right.
I'll find something else to do. Life's too short for that BS.
Yeah. We have a lot of goals in real estate. Do you have anything else you're wanting to pursue outside of it, you think, right now?
100%. So obviously grow the rental business.
Yeah.
That's a daily grind.
Yeah.
I definitely want to grow it. There hasn't been a ton of opportunity, but there's opportunities in every market. You just got to find them. Right. And sometimes it takes you a little bit extra time finding them, especially in this type of market we're in right now. So that would definitely be a goal. Retiring in my 50s is another goal of mine.
There we go.
So I want to be young enough to be able to still do stuff and travel and all of that. So that would definitely be another goal of mine. And, growing this brokerage is definitely a top goal of mine as well. Recruiting some new agents, helping them become successful. I just hired a new guy, Nick, and I think he's going to do great. And I like that mentoring of agents and helping them succeed. It's good when you can see somebody who, didn't necessarily know what they're doing in real estate and be successful.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool thing to watch.
Right.
So I like that.
Cool.
Yeah. But let's talk about your journey maybe to become like a top agent in not only our brokerage, but really a top agent in Michigan. So when we think about top agents, they say that only 20% of the agents will do over $5 million in business a year. They said only 3% of agents will do over 10. Mm-hmm. So you're in that top 3%.
Trying to push for 15.
I mean, this guy, well, that's probably 1%.
Let's go.
You want to be the 1%er.
Yes, sir.
You want to be the 1%er. So to get to that, I mean, what's the path? Like when you first started, obviously I know when you and I talked, I said, dude, you got to be on social. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do open houses. Mm-hmm. And you did all those things. But what else have you done that you think has just helped you to get there?
Oh, man. I feel like I've been, I don't know if like ruthless is the right word, just with, like we were talking about discipline. So obviously when you start out, you're figuring it out. I feel like I've tried my best for the last 7 years to be in front of as many people as I can all the time, but in a quality way, not in a way that pushes people away from you. Mm-hmm. Like, so if you can be in front of all these people, providing them with something, or, for example, we can go as far as there's, say, a certain part of my contact in my database where I'll evaluate, all right, you know what, maybe this isn't the right time to talk to them if I'm going to annoy them about something. So I stay very disciplined on making contact with every single person I know. And then, I mean, social media has grown quite a bit, and I feel like there's been people that have said, there's been people that have referred me that don't even really know me because of what I've put out there. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that because it shows me that people can see I'm being a genuine dude and putting out, quality things. I don't know. I mean, discipline, being present and visible with everybody, staying in touch with everybody, being social. I know I can still work on that. I think those are pretty big contributors. Yeah. So
having an amazing photographer, videographer.
Yeah, Chris Burton visuals.
Chris always comes through for us. You know what I mean? He always comes through for us. If you could see him right now, he's patting himself on the back, but he's very humble. What I will say is,
hang on. That was I the first shoot that Chris had in real estate?
You might have been.
Yeah, I think me and Chris connected on Instagram, just a side note, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give this guy a try. I wasn't fully happy with who I was using before, and I saw his Instagram. I'm like, yeah, damn, this looks pretty good, Yeah. Pretty fresh agent. He did it. That was it. Used him for every single one.
Yeah, and you know what? Then I started using them, and the agent started using them.
Now
so
the brokerage uses them.
I know. So I'll take my residual, Chris. By the way,
at Chris Burton Visuals.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take my money. Oh, by the way, Chris, I'll take my money. So anyway, if you could wave like a magic wand, though, I always like to play pretend sometimes. If you could wave kind of a magic wand and go anywhere in the world to live, where do you think it might be?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Would it be for... Are we thinking kind of like a vacation vibe, or
no,
live there like I'm working there?
I'm thinking live there, work there. Where would it be?
Hold up. This is a great question.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. The old me would have said I'd love to sell real estate in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. That's where I was thinking you were going to answer
But
that question with.
that would be cool. I don't know if that's for me now.
Okay.
So I'd like to think that it'd be fun to sell some real estate in a really cool place. You know what? I'm going to say like a Switzerland where I can live kind of in a little more private mountain scene.
I like
and
that.
Sell some really nice property there. I mean, that could be totally different.
Sure.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see you just over in the
Yeah.
Swiss Alps.
Yeah. Just skiing to my showing.
Marcus shows up on a snowmobile.
Yeah, with my face as a logo on the side of it. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Where
dude.
would you go?
You know, I would probably go somewhere tropical. Bora Bora, Maldives. I mean, I got to be by water. I got to be by good weather. I mean, I just show up in shorts and a T-shirt to the showings.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah.
like it, I'm not the agent for you.
This is the life I want to live.
This is the life I want to live. You know,
right.
Again, we're playing pretend.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if we're playing pretend, I want all the life.
Yeah.
I want to do it the way I want to do it. And I try to do that every day anyway, but we just don't have the Maldives close enough.
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool. I think one thing, last thing I want to touch on before we end is I have a ton of people, dude, almost on a weekly basis. They go, how the hell did you and Marcus Cronce meet? Like, you guys are totally two different ages, and how the hell did you guys meet? And I'm like, well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. Full disclaimer, I do not promote violence.
Oh,
But please share as much detail. This is my favorite story. I didn't know that we'd.
Well, I'm not going to go into the huge detail, but basically what happened was we happened to be out at a bar in downtown, in a downtown area, and I knew Marcus's sister, Ashley, for a long time. She's closer to my age. And so Marcus comes out with us one day, and this guy's like, I think barely 21 years old.
Just turned 21.
Just fresh on the bar scene, and I've been on the bar scene for a long time before he showed up. But anyway, so he shows up, and he's like, man, there's a guy over there that's really giving me bad looks, and I think he wants to fight me. And
I'm
this
like,
and
what is
that.
going on? This guy keeps looking at me?
Yeah.
I'm one of the first times at the bar, I'm like, why is this guy staring at me?
Yeah. So, I happen to have a couple of pops in me. And so I went over and asked the guy, I said, hey, what's going on? And he goes, I don't like that guy over there. And he points to you. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And the next thing I know, I'm fighting the guy. And I don't promote violence. And so anyway, it becomes a big bar fight at that point in time. Yeah. And we end up leaving. And Marcus is like, man, that was so awesome. Thank you for doing that and having my back. Yeah. And I think I responded to you with nobody messes with Marcus on my watch.
Yeah, man. And we've been having each other's back since. It was just it was a unique way of forming a relationship, but it's just the way it happened. Yeah.
So I figured if anyone asks why, that's how we know each other.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. So anyway, as we wrap up, anything else you want to talk about? Are you good?
I don't know. I think that's it, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming on the show once again. Keep grinding.
Thank you.
We need to see that 15, 20 million.
Yes, 15 mil, dude.
You'll do that, dude. You'll do that. I think you'll do 15 this year. You got a couple months left.
For sure.
Keep the pedal to the metal, man.
Yep.
Absolutely. But to anybody else watching, thank you for watching our show. You can find us on all places that you listen to podcasts. So iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, all social media platforms. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.